What's up everyone, the Godfather Dictator back with Mission 7, a crack in the slab. And I'm gonna do a couple of more practice run on Mission 8, but I really think it's glitched for the stealth gauge at the end. If I cannot find the reason why, I will just post the mission and you will see for yourself. It's really weird. And here there's a lot of long ass cutscene, so I'm not gonna speak during those.
3 years ago, something inside Aramis Stilton snapped like a cheap lock. A part of him and a part of this house never left that evening. The Dukes in their circle are still gathered here, setting their grand plan into motion. Delilah's plan. And a part of Aramis Stilton is always here, still breaking. The void is not exactly a place, and it's much older and stranger than you could ever know. It watches you from within. And at the heart of Stilton's house, the void is leaking through a pinprick left behind by Delilah's little trick. Even magic is perverted here, and things don't work like they should. Take this. Imagine it's a kind of timepiece. Boom. And watch the Duke and Delilah. See for yourself what they did.
Okay, so this is a pretty interesting mission, I feel. Come on, just switch back. So if you go explore inside the mansion, there's a lot of interesting puzzle. I'm not gonna do that, obviously, because this is not an exploration run. This is a walkthrough where I go straight for the objective and straight for what I have to do. There's a cheap way to do that mission for those who want to skip like interesting part. The easiest way is that you go get the code in the backyard of Stilton, and after this, once you get the code, you reload to a point at the beginning of the mission before you start changing time. That's more appropriate, I guess. And then you can just go straight for his office without getting the code, but I'm not gonna do that right now because it would skip a big part of the mission that's not that easy to stealth, and that's the reason why I'm gonna go get that code. For example, in mission 4, I think, the Clockwork Mansion, there's one code where I said that I previously got the code, and then I just enter it for the railway to reach the Clockwork Mansion. The difference in that case is that the part to go get the code is actually quite easy. It's not really hard, even with the dude with the typewriter in front of the stairs. It doesn't matter. It's just like 30 seconds longer, and because this mission was like a pain in the ass, and it's still a pain in the ass, the Clockwork Mansion, well, I wanted to skip through that little part a little faster. But in that case, skipping through getting the code, it's like you would basically skip this whole part here where I have to go behind and go get the code in his book, you know. And there's still, again, a lot of interesting trick with switching time for certain specific area to skip certain enemy so that certain enemy don't spot you. And I think the concept is pretty neat, actually. It's pretty damn nice. So here I'm checking back to see where the guard is. For some reason I couldn't spot him, and after I spot him and I switch back, he somehow, I think, spot me. And also, I want to say what I'm gonna do after. I'm gonna do another run with Emily. The same requirement, but this time, instead of playing with the full HUD. I'm gonna play with minimal HUD. So what that means is I'm gonna pretty much turn off everything in the HUD. Not HOD, HUD, okay? I was thinking of another game right now, HOD, End of Doom, in another game, and like, no, never mind. And yeah, so HUD, I'm gonna turn off everything except one thing. When it's inactive, the L bar and the swimming bar, well, the breathing bar underwater, will only be there when active. So for instance, if I would take damage, the L bar would become active. Unless I take out my weapon, that for some reason shows your L bar because it might think you're in combat or something. And well, the swimming one is simply because when you jump in the water, you want to know how much like hair you still have before you have to go to the top. That's the only thing I'm gonna leave on. But the rest, even the awareness meter, is gonna be turned off to make everything harder. And here actually in my other run, because I already started, I'm pretty far in the game, I'm almost done with my minimal HUD run. Here I have an interesting shortcut. It's actually not really pretty in the run because it was my first time realizing there was this little shortcut, and you don't see it here obviously, but it was like kind of clunky how I got up there. But regardless, it got the job done, and the rest of the run was like really flawless, so I really didn't care. And it's not like anyway with my shortcut it matters in terms of getting spot or not, because it prevents you from having to go back in the past to actually skip a couple of soldiers. Instead, I skipped through a window. And here, distraction. And I just want to say, okay, me right now, I'm really slow because it was, again, some of my first time like trying this strategy fully. And as soon as it's gone, if you're fast enough and you switch fast enough and your code isn't too far away from the number you need, okay, because here I was nervous, you see I was going back and forth. And I had like plenty of time to enter the code, okay? I could have entered at least 2 numbers right now, okay? And if your code is not too far away from the actual number that are on the code bar, what you can do is just speed it up and enter the room before anyone notices you. Once you're inside the room anyway, as soon as you get in the room, okay, they're not going to be able to see you because that place is like fuck up in time and nobody can see through it, which is a pretty nice thing. And here you see I almost got spot. I could use that awareness meter to my advantage to just switch back, and that's why that part was pretty hard with minimal HUD. But because actually I was fast enough and my code wasn't too far away from the number I needed, it was like not that bad. But if not, it's really bad because you cannot see the awareness meter, so you don't know until there's a little music that you got spotted. And at this point, sometimes you're just like fuck, you know. And here it seems that fast enough, and once you're in the room, you see you can't see anything, so that's why you. And another tip here, you don't have to sit through the first conversation. You can head back into the back room if you want down there, and you can just let the dialogue play. Anyway, I will let it play. So you don't have to listen all that. You can straight go here. You have to listen to that though.
seems to have worked.
My spirit is safe now.
There you go. As soon as you hear that, you can bounce. That's why on minimal HUD run you have to know everything, because you get no objective. Like you won't see anything that pops that says completed that thing. No, there's nothing. You will have always the screen with nothing except I will just see my L2 button and my square. That's the only thing. Also I leave the interact button because it would be too weird to just like go over corpse and shit like that. I prefer to have the interact button, so it's two things I leave off. I leave on actually in the HUD. All the rest is off. But all the thing that matter for me is the other stuff, especially the awareness meter. Cannot put the emphasis more on that due to the fact that I'm gonna have to switch strategy for part where I was relying on the awareness meter to lure enemy towards my direction or away from certain location, so it's gonna make it like that much harder. And here you can switch back and you can get the fuck out of there. And now there's a lot of long ass cutscene in there. There's gonna be another one right after this, and of course I skipped through all the loading for you guys. I don't want you guys to see all the loading and stuff, so we'll skip the loading. And here is another cutscene. I'm not gonna speak through it.
Look around you. A crumbling island at the very edges of the void. But this one is special. It's the place where my throat was cut 4,000 years ago. This is where my life ended, and where it began again. It's where they made me. This part of the void feels over. I thought I'd found a way to escape. I fought, and the wounds only cut my skin, so I went limp. And then a knife touched my throat, and I knew I waited too long. The blood ran out, and I became a god. Now you know Delilah's secret. At the end of her days, she drifted to the void and should have been lost forever. But her will and cunning were second to none. She found this place, the island in the void where I became what I am. It changed her, and she discovered a way to draw from it, tapping into the power here. Delilah is a part of me now, and I don't like it.
If you want to make things faster, you can stand at the edge here of that rock.
I have to give Delilah credit. She tore out a piece of herself and gave it away. Inside the thing made of bones. She's made herself immortal. If you want to kill Delilah, you're going to have to find her spirit and give it back to her. Reaching it won't be easy. But what comes after that might be the hardest thing you will ever have to do.
And then you can leave this place.
The world is full of secrets.
Now we're back in the dust district.
Back to the skiff.
Gotta go back to the
Someone
skiff.
should be waiting.
Here I'm gonna also show you another route, but it's when I do the minimal HUD, but it sucks because I can't really show you the real strategy for this part, because for some weird reason on my minimal HUD run, these guys are on search mode for God knows what reason. But you don't have to go on top right away, okay? You see the red captain, like near him, okay, down at the cover where he's at, okay? There's a bottle there, and me, what I'm showing you right now is me going all the way around to actually go get a bottle, because The only one that matters to this track is actually this red captain. The other guys, they don't really matter because it's the only one not moving, being still, and he's looking straight at the exit. So here you see I go on top, throw this here to attract him, and you have to throw it, make sure you throw it enough on, wait, let's see, on the right side, yeah, from the direction on top. I was trying to figure out right now. Because if not, you see, it won't be facing that direction. So make sure you do that. But you don't have to like jump down and all that thing. You go near him, down at the bottom of his cover, there's a bottle, and then you go on top, and as you go on top, you throw the bottle, and then you go down the route I show. It's way more efficient. And also to explain the stealth gauge is because you see that at the end, okay, you will see it's maxed out. Well, on mission 8, it's the only one where it's like 1.5 bar before the max, and the stats are all 0, but it's just like fucking weird. So I hope you guys enjoy as usual. See you on the next mission. Peace out.